Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be the episode 2, which is our video version of our newsletter. I really appreciate the feedback that you guys gave, that you rather watch than to read. So here I am again with October newsletter. I hope you were really inspired by the first one, and this one promises to be even more inspiring to you as we cover the various aspects of our ministry for the month of November. You have my permission to share this video with your friends, your family members, co-workers, associates, whatnot. You know, in case you're sharing your experience of how you are partnering with us in ministry, and you would like to give them something to help them to have an idea of where your support goes, you do have my permission to share this video with others in your circle. The month was not so busy with flying, and we'll talk more about that later. But you know, our home is not just for us, but it's also for the other missionary pilots who come through with their families time to time. So in the beginning of October, Ray Sikich and his wife with their 2 children came, and they were doing their passport for their new baby. And so they ended up spending about 1 night with us in our home, and we had a very wonderful time just meeting and bonding with them. We continued our cooking school. Yes, we were invited for a 3 weeks vegan cooking school in SSD, and that was a huge blessing. Had a lot of work, a lot of preparation, but the students who came out, which they are actually workers from SSD, they were just blown away, they were inspired, they were amazed. And for those who have been following us for a while, you know that cooking school is a break from flying. It's a break from playing the piano with Irene, you know. And so to be back in the classroom again, teaching individuals how to make good vegan food was a huge blessing. And the smiles on the student faces were just priceless. I wish you guys were able to come and be a part of that cooking school. It was 3 weeks, a lot of work, but we were able to finish up the month with those cooking schools. The visa process for me continues. I'm finishing up the probationary time early November. So in October, I wanted to just submit the rest of the paperwork that will be needed to be done so that I can get my visa status changed, and that will cost me a lot less than if I was on a tourist visa. So Granny Mary and her son Kuya Giovanni, they have been very instrumental in helping with the paperwork and the meetings, etc. And let us continue to pray for them, that as they represent us in these different immigration offices, God can work miracles and bring the right people for them to be able to help us with our visa process. You know, I've been doing this ministry with the rice, where I'm giving away a sack of rice. I live far from that supplier, so it's about a 2-hour drive to be able to go back. But every now and then I go to the area, or I'm passing through, and then I remember, oh, I get pocket money. Let me go and stock up on some rice. This time I had enough to buy about 8 or 10, I think it was about 10 sacks of rice, and I divided it in 2. So I was able to help a lot more families this time, and just watching them run to the vehicle to come and get the rice was really, really inspiring for me. And that's because you guys give pocket money, and I take a little from that, and I'm able to help feed families. So that's a huge blessing to know that the Rice Ministry continues to feed people, because you know Jesus said, I was hungry and you did not feed me. So the Rice Ministry continues in reaching families who don't have much food here in the Philippines. So for the flights, I only did 2 medevac this month. As I said, I was not busy with much flying, so only 2 medevac flights were done. And it's not just any 2, but one in particular is actually a patient a young lady in her early 20s, pregnant, her water broke, and the baby was still inside the tummy. So she was active labor, water broke, and the baby didn't come out. The weather was very challenging, and I remember I was really praying and asking God to help me to handle the challenges with the weather. And He did. He came through for me with the weather. I went in, I brought her out, and I got stuck for 2 days. I got stuck on the island where I dropped her off. I was stranded there for 2 days, living out of my small little survival bag, stuck in this cheap hotel for 2 days. Like, Lord, what am I want to go home. So I followed up with the nurse that had made the request, and I asked, what is the status of the mother and the baby? And she sent me an amazing text. She said, Cap, the baby lived. In other words, they did an emergency cesarean section. So they did an emergency CS, and that lady now has a healthy, bouncing baby girl, beautiful baby girl. And I look forward to one day seeing that little girl, to know that it was all worth it at the end of the day. For those of you who are following me for a while, you know I do my weekly mission flight report. So you can go over to that on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, and you can hear more amazing stories of these flights and the impact of the airplane itself. Brother Jude visited with, I think, Brother Curtis as well. There was an OCI meeting here, and they came over to attend that. And on his way over, he brought me little goodies. He brought me crackers that I was really praying for, some Jamaican crackers, and he brought that over with him. In addition to that, he brought a fuel pump that was badly needed. I had it on my page for a while when I do my reports. It was about $300, and it has an amazing story. Keep following my channel. I will make a video by itself to talk about the donation behind the pump that will help me to fuel the airplane a lot quicker. So he came, and as you know, Brother Judd is the representative for Angel One, one of our partners who help us to have tax deductible receipts from Canada and the US available for our donors from those 2 countries. And so whenever he comes to the Philippines, I always like to ask him if he could bring something for me. And he brought the pump, he put it together nicely so that it's very easy to use. And I really appreciate this pump and the partnership with Angel One that continues to connect us to the resources that we need for our aviation ministry. So I had to renew my medical. Yes, it's medical time again, and I was like, wow, time flies. I just realized that in the month of October, I had to renew my medical. I had to renew my medical and also my radio license. The radio license is done every 3 years, and I'm like, man, I'm getting old. I had to renew that, and also I had to renew my medical. And it's always a blessing to have the medical renewed, because it's nice to have a pilot's license, but if you cannot keep a medical current, then you cannot function as a missionary pilot. So I had to go through, get my blood work, ECG, check my teeth, my eyesight. They check my lungs, x-ray, etc. They test me for drugs. They test me my urine, And at the end of doing all of that, I was able to renew my medical and also my radio license as well. So that was a blessing for this month. We have been praying, we have been sharing the thing every weekly report that I do. I'm always putting it out there that we are looking for a new missionaries to come and join us. For the month of October, we got a response from Pamela. Yes, she reached out to us and let us know she's interested in coming to join us. And so during the time, we were able to have meetings via, I think it was Facebook, that we video called. And we were just meeting and talking and getting to know each other. And we scheduled a possible time when she can, do further talks and different things with us. And the conclusion for the month was she's going to take a little time and pray about it and talk with her family to see if God will open up the doors and allow her to come and join us for our ministry. So after Brother Judd brought the miracle pump, we were able to install it, and what a remarkable difference this thing makes. It's quick release, and I remember the other missionary pilot came and he needed a lot of fuel, and we were able to just use that pump. Within a few minutes, his plane was all fueled and ready to go. One of the things that I try to do with the airplane is I'm always trying to see how can I make it better? How can I improve it? How can I offer a little bit more comfort to the patients who are lying down, the family members who have to sit, etc. And so I had the idea. I've been looking for an upholstery place for a long time. Finally, this month, I was able to find an upholstery place. And I'm going to show you guys right now what that actually looks like and to tell you a little bit of the blessing that comes with that. So here it is, guys. Here it is. This is about, it's a nice little sponge inside, and it's like a leather-like material for the covering, semi-waterproof, so if there's any blood or urine, it will not soak into the sponge. And this is a huge blessing to the patients lying down, because now they can have a little bit more comfort on those long flights. Sometimes they're weak, it's a pregnant lady, it's a senior person that cannot really sit up. And I was really praising the Lord that I had the donation to put this little bed together so that when they come on the airplane, they have something a little bit more comfortable as they fly along on this missionary airplane. So the month finished up where I'm getting older, guys. Yeah, it was my birthday. October 30 came. I didn't really do anything special except I took a vacation for the first time in my life. I took a week off from ministry and flying just to unwind and revive and rejuvenate myself. And honestly, I was like, I'm not used to waking up every day, not checking the weather, checking if there's flights. And it was this downtime where I had a lot of time to think. And I realized that I was getting a little homesick. And I said, Lord, I'm glad that I'm so busy, I don't have time to think about my family and friends back home that I haven't seen for a while. And so that little vacation was a little eye-opener for me. And I'm thinking maybe I need to do it more often so I get used to it, or just not do it at all. I don't know. I'm still praying about that. But it was a blessing. October 30 was my birthday, and it was a blessing to see another birthday. I'm still not yet 40 years old. I have plenty of energy in the tank of life to keep going and doing missionary work. And so that was pretty much October in a nutshell. I want to really thank you guys so much for your prayers and your support. We're always praying for you. And if you have any specific requests that you would like for us to make mention of in our prayers as we go throughout our morning worship and throughout the day when we do our prayers, we would like to make mention of you and those requests in our prayers. So on behalf of Philippines Adventist Medical Aviation Services, we say thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for encouraging us. And we look forward to next month's report, where we'll tell you about how God continues to provide the means as we do our part in doing the work. Blessings from the Philippines, and I'll see you next month.